What is going on, Nitro Gang? I hope you like what you see in front of you, because there's about exactly 4 things in this frame that are sickening. Now we can count from left to right. You can count from right to left. You can count any way you want, even in a different language, and you will still end up with 4 sickening things, depending which way you start. Now, let me just say hello to the early birds here, and we will get down to Saturday Night Nitro. We got Jim here, Christine P, RC Show Off, Texas Hill today, put on a sickening stream himself. We got Paige Smith out there with 1 bar of Nitro juice. Eric and Matthew, it's Rickety Rack. We got Xavier's RC Adventures. We got Lotus RC, who today got something of a Nitro guzzler. I'm not going to let you guys know. He will let you know. Who else did I miss? We got Geo Mac. The rest of you guys are going to populate. John Hensley here. All right, my dudes. Rock and Roller, Rusty, RC Nitro, Smitty. Well, guys, how do you think I should count? This way or this way? Honestly, I was not planning to stream today, and I wish I knew American Sign Language, but I don't. But it will be quite cool to learn, maybe one day if I have to. So, who wants to count here? Where is number 1? Where is number 2? That is sickening. Let me give you a little look around. We got a vintage radio control Nitro magazine. We got an HPI RS4. We got another magazine with what appears to have 100 engines. 100 engines. Boosted, how you doing, bro? Boosted today got himself a sickening Nitro, but sometimes old Nitros come with typical problems called dead engines. Damn shame that happened, bro, but we'll talk about that maybe in the future. We got, okay, same people. Okay, good. Now, oh, no, hold on. I gotta scroll down to my text a little bit. Pinker RC, how you doing, bro? Happy Saturday to you now. And the last and final thing. It's a honey bun. Who here is a fan of honey buns? Now, there's basically 2 types of honey buns. There's ones, kind of like this, like, I guess, glazed. And then there's frosted. Personally, I'm not a hater of either honey bun. If it's a honey bun, put it on a plate in front of an HPI and put it in front of me. That's what I say. Rory Holler, how you doing, bro? All right, happy to have you guys here. Let me take a little while, and we will get started. Now, yes, in fact, there is an HPI in this box, but I'm going to tell you a little something. Are you guys ready for a little information? It's not exactly what the box is pictured with. That means it's either good or bad. It's either a surprise or it isn't. All right, somebody goes 10 seconds in the microwave. My dude, let me tell you something. Not a bad idea, but I kind of went backwards on this, okay? And I actually put the honey buns in the fridge. I eat them cold. You know why? When you eat them cold, the frosting gets nice and hard. It actually is real delicious. Dude, try this out of the fridge. It will blow you away. I am telling you. I know it seems silly, but it will blow you away. A honey bun from the fridge. Oh, I'm going to eat that. I'm going to eat it real fast in a little bit. So let me show you guys the rest of this box. All right, so, box is a box, Yesterday we had a sickening box, the Thunder Tiger Panda. More on that in the future. But today's box is an HPI box. And depending how things go, we will crack open this, I would say, in my opinion, extremely rare RC magazine. They said 100 engines. 100. That's literally 99 more than just 1, okay? You understand? You need 100, not 1. Oh, we got Nitro Pimp. How you doing, bro? He goes, those honey buns used to be the size of his hand. Well, these are the Dollar Tree honey buns, dude. These are the ones that, you know, self-checkout style honey buns. They're not very good, but they are very good at not making you sick. Okay, so if you think something that doesn't make you sick is good, this is what you want, okay? So there's either frosted or there is glazed. Personally, I'll go either one, but this one is not bad. It used to be cheap, but now they're a little on the pricey side, you know what I'm saying? Let's see who else we got here. Let me just make sure I acknowledge the viewers, because without the viewers, what are we really? You know what I'm saying? What was Bob Barker without The Price is Right? He was just a guy with a funny-looking wired microphone. But The Price is Right made him great. All right, Ray Coral, thank you, bro, for that super chat. And I am happy that Ray is here because, guys, this is actually a Ray Coral classic. That's what's up. More about that later. So we're going to take a look at it. Let me just take a little time. Guys, I was on a Nitro road trip today, and I literally just came home a little bit ago. Now, here in the greater New York City area, we got ourselves quite a bad storm coming. So hopefully the Wi-Fi is good today. Tomorrow, they're talking about storm surges. They're talking about evacuation routes. But to me, I'm not going to leave my Nitros behind, my dudes. I'm not leaving them behind. It isn't going to happen. And the Nissan Rogue, it ain't big enough. I stayed here for Hurricane Katrina. I stayed here for Hurricane Democrat. And I will be here for Hurricane Government Shutdown. John, how you doing? By the way, those were actually good jokes. Very, very good jokes. That's a Thunder Tiger Panda from yesterday. I'll see if I'll do a little bit of an update on that or not. But today, we're doing a little HPI. Now, Ray Coral actually wound up providing this to the channel. So once again, special hell yes shout out to you. RC Show goes, I'm upstate from you and still worried. Yeah, man, I basically live like, I'm going to be honest with you, about 5 feet above sea level. Okay, 5 feet above sea level. I got the sump pump on standby right now. All right, I told Melissa, if there's a flood in the basement, we're going to bring all the Nitros upstairs. All of them going upstairs. Let me enjoy a little of the honey bun, and then we will get down to it. Now, I got a question for y'all. Which RC magazine are we going to go with? All right, which mag will we go with? I'm telling you, my dudes, put this in the fridge. It will blow you away. It tastes even better in the fridge. Northeast Mods, how you doing, man? Well, sickening. I'm telling you, you got to put the stuff in the fridge. It's real good. Texas Hill votes for the 100 Engine magazine. Oh, we got my buddy Ben here. Happy to see you here, man. I'm just eating a honey bun. Give me a second. You know, got home not long ago. That's a Dollar Tree honey bun, by the way. Did you guys hear? In order to fund the government shutdown, they're planning on using the tariff money. Wow. That's some circular economics, isn't it? Pure circular economics. You ever heard of the term circular logic? We're living circular economics. John, thank you, bro, for being a member for 11 months. I appreciate you. Okay? Lately, people have been saying appreciate you because they got no time to actually say a correct word in English grammatically. Okay? So they forget the A and they just go appreciate. You know, appreciate. Let me tell you something, my dudes. This is not the word depreciation. It's called appreciate. Hell yeah. So, John, I appreciate you. You see, I'm not even going to cut the first syllable out for you. You're going to get the whole word, John. Whole word. The Horribin family, how you doing? He goes, where can I find associated TC5 bodies? Well, my dude, pretty much only used. Really, the TC5 is just a touring car. You could really pretty much run any touring car body, right? Gotta tell you, I appreciated this honey bun. Really appreciated it. All right, honey bun is over. All right, my dudes. Let's get down. TC5? Did you say TC5 is a trophy truck? The associated TC5? That's a touring car, isn't it? Yeah, Smitty, 3 bites and it's gone. You know, that's Democrat honey buns right there, man. That's, you know, Democratic honey buns. What are you gonna do? You know, you all gotta pay into the pool. They take your money and then they blame you for it. Oh, T5, my bad. T5. I thought you said TC5. Okay, well, it's a trophy truck. Well, I mean, there's really not. You're gonna have to look up a body that's similar to that design. If anybody here in the chat knows, I've never had experience with that model, bro. So, you know, me personally can't help you out with bodies. But honestly, I almost never pick up different bodies. You know, if the car came with a body, good. If it didn't come with a body, well, it didn't come with the body. It's one of those things, you know, like spending money on old RC bodies will deplete your capitalist funds real fast. And you don't want to deplete your capitalist funds fast. You want to deplete them real slow, okay? Because the Democrats are going to take them from you. All right, my dudes, let's get down to the chassis, I think, first. But yeah, bodies is one of those things in our hobby that I would say probably the most overpriced for nothing. You know what I mean? If it comes to the body, good. If it doesn't, then, I mean, I guess you can make something fit. You could, like, probably repair it or something. Generally, drywall tape. And, like, you know, some people use shoe glue. Oh, Texas Hill knows about the fillet of fish. Bro, I just had 2 fillet of fishes yesterday. Melissa and I had a conversation in the car. Is the plural of fish fishes or is it fish? I contend that it's fish. But there are still people like Kanye West that thinks it's fishes. It's not fishes. Okay, it's fish. Right, my dudes, I got a question for you. What do you think this plate is going to be for? Monty, how you doing, bro? Happy to see you here. If I had a picture of the fillet of fish, I would show it to you. I'm going to put it into the group later tonight for you, man. Richard, how you doing? What's the plate for? Yeah, RC Show Off there. I'm going to read that comment. He goes, bodies are a ripoff these days. Pretty much totally correct. Problem is, you know, if you got the body, good. If you don't, well, let's hope you didn't pay a lot for it. But if it's something that, like, you know, you want to restore, you're going to have to get a parts car. And Team Associated stuff, pretty much not cheap on the used market, right? All right, my dudes. Since nobody cares about the plates, let's care about the box. All right, so what do we got here? This is the old school Nitro RS4, the very first generation one. So the first generation one should have a silver chassis, right? But does this one have a silver chassis or not? What do you guys think is going to happen? I'm just curious. You think we have this car in the box, or do we have something else in the box? Let me take a look around the back. Interesting, because they're actually picturing it with a purple chassis. That is odd. The RS4 is supposed to have a silver chassis, and this was not a standard feature on the RS4. It had a can muffler. This must be some kind of representation of how it should be when it's optioned. Here's the English version. All right, no, the English version is basically the same. That's odd. The RS4 should be a silver chassis. The RS4 was already the purple chassis. That is odd. Anybody know why we have a little bit of box dissent? Okay, don't be a box dissenter. Being a box dissenter is not good. All right, Harlem, how you doing, man? Happy to see you here. Happy Saturday to you. I know Harlem is always out there. I'm a follower of his on Instagram, posting content day and night, running rich and loud in them parks. That's how you get it done. But this is odd. That actually is not the correct... This is the RS4 too. Actually, the handle is not RS4 The handle is RS4. All right, whatever. Minor little differences. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to get too crazy into it. Open her up or what? John wants to know, hey, Hyber, are there any current Nitro magazines? No, there aren't, unfortunately. It's basically only electric RC car action. They should rename this to electric only car action. So you know, you see how they left a space over here? Just type it, put in electric. You know what? If I can get a Sharpie, I'm going to write it right now. Melissa, do we have a Sharpie? No? Well, I found a pencil, but guess what? My pencil is not sharpened. Isn't that the ultimate metaphor for life? You find the pencil, but your pencil is not sharpened. Sickening. Okay, I found a pen. I'm gonna put the truth on this magazine right now, my dudes. Are you ready for the truth? All right. All right, pen sucks. You get the point. There you go. That's the sad truth right there. Electric radio control car action. They should just rename it like that, you know. Guys, you could even steal my text. Go ahead, steal it. I don't care. Use it. You know what that font is called? It's called Helvicta, hell yeah. Okay, Helvicta, Roman numeral, hell yeah, number 9. Tarek, how you doing, bro? All right, let's continue. Unfortunately, there's no Nitro magazines. All right, so let's open up the box, see what we got. I basically already know, but in order to maintain a realm of interest for all of us, Lucas, how you doing, bro? We're gonna do it together. All right, do we gotta open in the hole? Someone say open in the hole. Open in the hole, let's go. No, open the hole. Okay, open in the box. Well, just by looking at it, Monty Kruska with the open in the black hole. That's what I like to see. People with a good sense of humor. Okay? Pinker RC with the abra la caja, amigo. Okay, that's good. I can read Espanol. So, nosotros tenemos un coche aquí en este caja. Pero yo, how do you say I see? Yo veo? Yeah. Yo veo una grande problema. ¿Qué es la problema aquí? Este motor, yo creo que no es de este coche. Es un otro motor. No bueno, mi amigo. Wonder Bread, ¿cómo estás? Okay, enough of the Spanish. I do love the Hispanic language. Oh, well, it's the Spanish language. I do love Spanish-style food, culture, even some of the music. But I don't love killed nitros. Let's continue. So we're going to take it out of the box. Check out what is the problem. Because I already see, guys. Do you see the problem? Oh, we got Northeast Mods. How you doing, man? Sorry if I didn't see some of you guys there in the chat. But trust me, I appreciate you being here. The RS4 would have come with this style engine. This right here is not the correct engine. It doesn't mean it's bad, all right? A box is a box, and as some people say, it's also a box. Get it? It's a joke. But a Nitro is still a Nitro in the box. So we're going to take this out in a little bit. What I see here, we have some screws. We have the factory plastic pipe, the really low flow header. This is the 15FE, missing the bearing, missing the pull starter. So we're doing a little bit of an examination out of the box right now. You got to know where you're starting to know where you're going. You guys heard about the federal government shutdown, and they're saying that a lot of employees are on furlough. Honestly, dude, they're going to get paid anyway. I don't understand what the big deal is. Furlough means vacation, right? Okay, let's take it out. All right, there's nothing else in this box. Truth is, furlough is great. Means you don't gotta work. You don't gotta clock in, and then they're gonna pay you later anyway. So I don't understand what the crybabying is right now in the Democrats. Why are they a bunch of crybabies? Anybody here want to tell me why? Why are government a bunch of crybabies? All right, so I already see a couple situations. Anybody see a couple situations, you can let me know. I think the coloring of the body is subjectively not good. Let's take a look. You guys want me to see? You want to see under the body? I'm going to do it in a second. Yeah, let's just talk a little bit about things that matter. Truth is, a furlough means vacation, okay? When you go back, you're going to get retro pay. That literally means go home, eat some popcorn, some salsa, some chips, some taquitos. Have a beer, although I don't recommend drinking. Drinking not good for you. And then you're going to get paid later. And no one's going to ask you, where is your weekly report? You know what I'm talking about? The weekly reports. You hate those, bro. I hate those. Okay. Furlough. The people on furlough are the winners in life right now. Okay. Okay, let's continue. Eric, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. All right, so I do notice the body is the GTR. But the question is, why do we have a 15FE engine? That is actually a mystery. I'll take a look at it. But this leads me to believe we have ourselves a problem. Lotus, the answer is yes, but I am not on furlough. If I was, I would be doing streams every day of the week, okay? Let's get that straight. If all of a sudden you see Hybrid over here doing a stream every day of the week, then you understand where I'm coming from. But no, unfortunately, I am not. All right, let's take the body off. Oh my goodness, what the heck is that? What the heck is that? So it looks like... So first of all, this is not the correct way to paint. You never paint the inside yellow. The inside color should generally be black. The reason is dirt hides really well in a black color. This, not good. I also see remnants that are fresh of fuel leaks. This paint appears not to have been the correct paint for this kind of body. So they killed this body. This is basically as good as a government furlough employee. Okay? If this is a government furlough employee right here. Chilling. You can't kill it, but it's chilling. You know what I'm saying? It's like on furlough, so you can't do nothing about it. All right, let's move the body. That's situation one. Keep in mind, I'm not making fun of anything. Oh, look, I got some yellow on my finger. Got some yellow on my finger. We're just going over the car as I see it. No negativity here. People sometimes learn slowly. Sometimes they try to kill our hobby. And for that, I cannot forgive them. Nitro Pimp goes, that is a first-gen RTR3. Correct. And guys, if you don't know, Nitro Pimp probably has, I would say, some of the nicest RS4 3 models on YouTube. A couple videos ago, he showcased a new in-box RS4 3 Type SS, which is basically the Halo version of these generation models. We got Australiano, how you doing, man? All right, so let me show you guys right here. Good comment here from Australiano. I totally agree. So the chassis itself, well, you know, there's a store called Torrid. It's like a store in the mall called Torrid. There's a word that rhymes with Torrid. It's called horrid. This is horrid. Okay, I'm just kidding around. So let's take a look at it. Go over what I think it needs, what I think it doesn't need, and what I think is incorrect. Oftentimes, and I know people here that are, you know, John Hensley would agree with me. Horrid sometimes is still interesting. Every Nitro, as he says, has a story. This one is no different. There's still, from what I see, some good, a lot of bad. What's up there, Jose Velasquez and only RC Nitros? Happy Saturday to you guys. I just unboxed a car that happens to be a different model than the box, but that's okay. It was a channel gift from Ray Coral, and I appreciate that. And, well, the question today is this repairable? Or will it remain a parts car? Now, engine-wise is over there on the side. Forget about the engine. Let's just talk about the unique things I think I will need for this build alone. And unfortunately, sometimes, you know, HPI, due to their poor management, and I can discuss that if you want. We could talk about money laundering, bad executive style leadership skills, you know, inability for pretty much do patent research, hire people that know the definition of the word patent. There's many things you could talk about. But let's stick to what I think we need here. For now, let me remove just the engine and we will continue. Jose Vasquez goes, ¿Qué tal, mi amigo? That means, how are you, my friend? I appreciate the Spanish language. Thank you for speaking it and making me learn it. You see, Melissa is 50% Hispanic, but she don't speak it. So therefore, I can't even practice with her. Can't do it. Not cool, man. I think she heard me. I think she heard me. Oh, she heard me. She heard me. She heard me. She heard me. Yeah, Melissa 50% Hispanic, but she like don't speak it anymore. So pretty much toast where it comes to that, you know. Okay. Vamos a ver a este coche. ¿Te gusta o no? ¿Qué te crees de este coche? Yo no sé. I think that was pretty much, you know, gringo level, but it's okay for me because, you know, Spanish is not my even second language. I do have another language that I do speak, but let us continue, everybody. So first thing, let's take a quickie look around the 15FE. Cooling head seems to be in good condition. One of the big issues is getting a proper bearing for this. Michael James, how you doing, my dude? So these use pretty much 14 millimeter bearings. And generally, modern one-way bearings are 12 millimeter. So I don't even think I have one. Believe it or not, I don't think I do. Assuming you could find the one-way bearing, then you'll need the pull starter. These also use a fairly large pull starter. Not like most modern engines, they use a smaller base, right? Clay, how you doing? From Brazil. Let me spin it over. Now, based on this spin alone, this has, unless it's slipping and the crankshaft is loose, or the flywheel is loose, I don't think it's actually spinning. Hold on. I can't even tell if it's spinning inside of there because there's literally zero compression of any kind. I think it cannot be any worse. If it was any worse, it would be better. It would be negative. All right. All right, so on the bottom, we have the screws. The coupler looks okay. The pipe looks okay. The head looks okay. The carb looks normal. This is a basic single-speed model. And I must tell you guys, sometimes one speed is all you need. Especially if this is the model you have. Of course, you're going to live life wanting a two-speed baby, right? But you're going to have to settle for a single speed. Back when these cars were new, People did upgrade to a 2-speed trans, but generally about a year or two after this was released, the 2-speed models came out. They were called the Evo. Let's continue to the car itself, my dudes. The question is, and I titled this stream, let's check it out and see if it's worth restoring. So I basically have to determine that with your help, if it's worth making it a runner. Gotta ask you all a question. Do you see one of the biggest problems on this chassis here? I'm gonna zoom in real hardcore. Now, forget about the engine. I'm not worried about that. Forget about the electronics, radio box missing. There's one issue. Nitro Pimp goes, do I have the radio tray? The answer is actually no, I don't really have any parts for these cars. But there's one, well, first thing you should always check is actually diffs. So spin it. Okay, so it appears that the drivetrain is not bad. It is communicating, you know, putting power down to the back. Forget about that. Fuel tank, I'm not worried about. Spur gear looks to be very good condition. Chassis looks to be, you know, 85% good. Terragos use it as a parts car. I hope it doesn't come to that, but it might. So what I want to show you guys, and I'm going to zoom in real good. I want you to tell me. Actually, let me check the shocks. Ride height is actually pretty good. Body posts are good. The body posts are not missing. The drive shafts are not missing. Shocks are original. Fuel tank is seemingly in good condition. The pipe hanger is here. Roll bar is here. But the big issue, does anybody see what it is? John goes, do I have any parts for this? Surprisingly, you know, I did build one of these a while back, and I wound up using all my spare parts on that RS4 3. So, you know, it's not like I have a ton of these cars. I'm going to zoom in on the biggest problem right here. Guys, do you see what the issue is? Well, what is the issue? Tell me right now. Nitro Pimp is correct with the first great response. It's missing the entire brake assembly. And Smitty right there is correct as well. John Hensley is correct as well. So when I first realized it was missing the brake assembly, that had me thinking a little more than normal about what to do with these cars. Normally it's like, you know, yeah, hell yeah, let's make it great again. But missing the brake assembly, it's a lot of part numbers. You basically need, first of all, these are Tygon fuel lines for gas engines. This is not supposed to be used for nitros because they suck. So this is the brake cam, right? There's supposed to be a disc brake that sits over here, and, well, the brake disc assembly is supposed to be part of this. It screws into the bulkhead. So technically, at least 2 to 3 part numbers there alone is what we're going to need. George Wilson, how you doing, bro? Sorry I didn't read all of your comments here. But thank you for watching, man. I appreciate you. I would say this is probably the biggest problem. Yeah, the rest is actually fixable, guys. The rest is totally fixable. Right? Servos, no big deal. I'm not worried about servos. These linkages, I'm not worried about that. Battery tray, yeah, it'll look ugly, right? It'll look ugly. But the brake cam assembly is actually the biggest problem in my opinion here. Forget about the engine. That's like a whole other controversy. So what I'm going to do, let's take a quick look at eBay. If you guys want me to take a look at eBay. By the way, everybody, the Traxxas prices have gone up. So if you didn't buy your Traxxas Slash in time, congratulations. It costs $80 more now. I told everyone to get the Nitro Slash. I told everyone, but you know, it's like talking to a wall sometimes, but it's okay. Walls sometimes talk back. Not great though, but they talk back. HPI RS4 3 brakes. Let me see what we got. We're gonna have to look up part numbers, but this is actually missing more than I expected. So it needs a brake assembly. I think the brake assembly is actually part of a gearbox set. All right, so let's see what we got here on the computer. All right, so when you look for RS4 3 brakes, not the best search result, but this eraser obviously will need part numbers. And the best thing to do is be to look up the part number from a manual. But I'm just getting a scope for prices. RS4, so the RS4 3 might be a little bit different. But you understand, like the part, even the minimal parts to repair these things, they're not very user-friendly in terms of parts. It's an old car. So it's going to be a questionable decision whether this is even going to be repaired. Let's see, what can I search for here? Brake? No. What can we search for, guys, to come up with the brake set? Brake. I don't know. RS4. Brake. Assuming I don't have the part number right now. All right, so you can get this aluminum one, but then you need that whole other assembly. And the linkage. You need the linkage. So needless to say, it's actually going to be quite not cheap. Oh, RS4 Racer. Well, that's a different model. That's not this one. Oh, Nitro Pimp. Okay, we'll talk to Nitro Pimp later. Oh, that was Sandy over here. Sandy's meowing. I'm just taking a look at some of the HPI stuff. All right, so we got fuel tanks. I mean, they're not impossible to find. But then again, even like something like this, right? RS43 rolling chassis. Let's just take a look at it. We'll just take a look at a parts car, you know, just for our own personal interest. 95 plus 27 bucks. So this will still come out to like 130 after shipping. Let's take a look at some of the pictures to see what we have. But if you're getting one of these, oh, I already see something I don't like. All right, so in this picture alone, this is the brake assembly that I'm talking about. Basically, we're missing all this. It's, you know, it's not that impossible. The box cover, the radio box cover is pretty important. But what this one is missing is a throttle linkage. So these use a pretty unique throttle linkage. Me personally, I would not buy this model because it does not have a throttle linkage. The reason is the linkage itself here incorporates the servo saver. The servo saver is the most important part. The tires, really, really good on this model though, okay? Really, really good tires on this one. All right, let's go back to this model. Boosted RC, bro, thank you, man. We'll see what we got, but, you know, once the brakes are kind of gone, you know, I've repaired a lot of stuff, but never really with an entire missing brake assembly. Yeah. Smitty goes, it's impossible to find those servo savers. Exactly. The other thing is, you can make a throttle linkage. You honestly don't need that servo saver system. You can make one, but you need a bunch of collars and, like, you know, the correct wires and like Z-bends. It's not going to cost you any less to just get the correct servo saver mechanism. It's not cheap. But other than that, I mean, this car has good wheels, right? Only slightly painted. What's up, JW, man? How you doing? The gear is in perfect condition. And me personally, I like a proper single-speed trans, guys. I enjoy a single speed sometimes. You know, a two-speed is good, but the truth is, a single speed, the gear ratio is pretty good for like a good high RPM motor. You know, on a motor like this, you're going to be going real slow. But on a slightly better, higher RPM engine with more power, you know, because these already have a fairly tall clutch belt, so you're not really going to have much of an issue. What do you guys want me to do? You want me to disassemble this engine real quick or what? You want me to pull the head? Oh, man. Smitty goes, I'm in a situation of owning an R40 but no throttle or steering linkage. Yeah, you're going to have to make them, dude. You're going to have to. What you need to do is just look at, like, pictures of other ones and try to copy that linkage. That's what you're going to have to do. That's probably the best solution. All right, so let me see what we got in the situation of this engine, and then we'll move on to magazines. I mean, right now, there's not much else I can do to this chassis. But, you know, we could try to see if the engine is, you know, at least repairable. All right, let's pull the head. All right, first screw coming out. Appreciate you guys being here, guys. If you haven't, please give this stream a thumbs up. All right, first screw came out. One of the worst things that could happen is stripping a screw in the head itself. Carb looks normal. The reason these screws have really small Phillips holes, well, you know, for pretty much small screwdrivers. And if you strip it, well, okay, that one's good, that one's good. The only real solution is to cut it out. Yeah, we got a good question there. Thank you for responding, Nitro Pim. Nitro Jamie goes, is the throttle linkage the same as the MT1? So yes, the Nitro MT and all of the RS4 3 and up models, they all have the same linkage. Yes, the RS4 2 is a different linkage. But any Nitro MT, any model, and any RS4 3 will be the same linkage. You could honestly make it yourself. It's not impossible. All right, so the head looks normal. All right, so I mean, honestly, the piston looks pretty clean. Why didn't it seem like it was moving? Let me check this out. Oh, I see what happened. You guys see what's going on? I'm moving the flywheel and the piston is stuck. That's because the pilot nut is loose. The pilot nut, sometimes called the clutch nut, is loose. That's why it's stuck at the top as I'm spinning it. Yeah, it's hella loose. That's why it ain't going nowhere. You see that? So I don't know, maybe it will have compression. Let's disassemble the clutch first. Before removing the back plate, not a bad idea to remove the clutch. Oh yeah, now I could tell. It's moving when I spin this. You see that? All right, so I need a giant wrench to hold this down and unscrew it. Let me do this whole video here for a second, guys. That's not gonna work. I have to disassemble. I need a piston locking tool for this because it moves this up and down. Let me remove the back plate first. Let's take off the back plate. Because the piston is moving. Okay, well that screw's about to get stripped. I don't even think Van Damme could get that one. HPI Savage, how you doing? Guys, today in the morning, HPI Savage and Texas Country were running Nitros. And HPI Savage was taking some hardcore jumps. I think something bad wound up happening to a Savage, but let's hope it's fixable. Although when you hear the word crunch, you pretty much understand, unless someone is eating a cereal, their diff is toast. Yeah. You know what I should be doing right now? I should be editing videos. That's what I should be doing. Let me do this one off video. Okay, got it. John Hensey, thank you, man. Glad to be able to provide useful entertainment for all of us, my dudes. I truly am. All right, let's remove this. Let's see what we got. Now, in my experience, these engines are basically almost always toast. All right, so nothing looks crazy. It looks like it was never really disassembled. You could still see the original paper gasket. Starting shaft looks normal. Nothing crazy on it. So these use a brass connecting rod. Yeah, I honestly can't tell if it has compression or not. But I need to remove this clutch bone that's stuck. So what happens is people usually use way too much thread lock. Thank you for that super chat from John Hensley once again. People use usually way too much thread lock on this screw, and then it comes off from the shaft, the crankshaft itself. And in this case, you could either jam this somehow and unscrew it, or use a piston locking tool. Wonder Bread man, you take care. Thank you for stopping by. Wonder Bread, let me ask you a question. When you make a grilled cheese sandwich, you cut off the crust? I'm just curious. You cut off the crust? I don't know why, man. I've been thinking about grilled cheese sandwiches today. Got a situation, man. Let me try to fix this. I'm going to put something soft in there and try to unscrew it. Okay, I got it. All right. I got it, guys. We're about to take a look inside. I mean, really, there's pretty much no point in disassembling it. But, you know, these are also good for parts. Let's see. Oh, man, check that out. It still has that old style needle bearing, sometimes called the roller bearing. That's a classic setup right there, the roller bearing. Dude, I remember removing them and buying new ones. At that time, people weren't upgrading to bearings. Like, dude, that one needle bearing was like $15 at the hobby store. You understand? This was like 2003, 2004, no, 2002. Dude, that was a lot of money back then, that stupid needle bearing right there. Yep, and it falls out. Yeah, that's it. That's the culprit. Let's take a look inside. Okay, so the clutch looks useful. Springs look okay. They're not hella loose. That's basically how this should be. Like, you should be able to move the springs a little bit. That's a good sign. So the only way to fix this would be to remove the clutch shoes completely and tighten the pilot nut. Real hardcore. Otherwise, I can't check for compression. But statistically speaking, these engines are almost always toast. Oh, look at that homemade gasket. That's what you call a homemade gasket, guys. I don't understand why, you know, people can't just go out and buy proper gaskets. They're really cheap. Plus, I guarantee you, back when this car was, you know, built or rebuilt or assembled, whatever, like, these parts were completely available from stores. It wasn't, like, odd, you know what I mean? It wasn't like modern HPI. Also, these screws are pretty useful, the long exhaust screws. Appreciate you guys being here tonight. All right. I mean, there's just no way that's going to work. That's not... That literally appears to be cardboard. I've heard of people using cardboard for exhaust gaskets, but there's literally no economic reason to do this, because, like, the gaskets from back when HPI was in business, they were real cheap. So doing something like this, I mean, come on. I mean, come on. Are we playing around here? Are we playing around? Robin Sillerman, what's going on? Oh, yeah. Those GTR bodies are some of the best, but the one I got is not good looking. But, you know, it's repairable. So I have it broken down into its component parts. I'm going to remove this stuff later. All of this has to be redone. The brass con rod looks good. There's a good amount of oil in there. Now, I know Ray Coral here, my good buddy, did say, I think he said he had this running, but probably not. I don't know for how long, probably for a very short period of time. So, you know, the thing is, even low dead compression engines will run, but they will run really badly. Let's take a look at idle gap. Okay, so idle is actually very accurate for this, but I would say a little on the low side. For these ABN engines, that is way too low of an idle. Normally, let me show you like visually where the idle should be. You know, from my experience, of course. It should be like that. How you doing there, MPTRC, man? You're never late. Don't worry about it. But you know, let me just give you a catch up. It's a RS4 3 trying to restore, or just use it as a parts car. So normally the idle gap should be somewhere in that vicinity for an engine like this. Now, if you have an idle gap that is like that, that usually means your engine is toast. You all agree, or what? Yeah, about that is normal. Also, these are single needle carbs. I will say they do last a long time. From my experience, there's like, you know, very small chance of leaks because it's a single needle carb. But the bad thing, anybody here want to tell me what some of the bad things about these carbs are? Go ahead, make my day. Make me read your comment. There's one main bad thing I would say, other than the low speed needle. Forget about the low speed needle. There is no low speed. It's only high speed. Right? You don't even need to use a screwdriver. You go like this. That's it. Solid. Somebody goes, Philip said, yes, that too. I would say it's the super not user-friendly two-screw attachment from Nitro Pimp is correct. So, set screw retention from its Ricky rack. Yes, the set screws, the screws, they're not set screws, they're like regular screws, right? For the carb. You have one from each side. That actually is a big problem. John Hensley, we'll see you later, bro. Send me a message. I'll take a look. Okay, appreciate that, man. These are the problems. So if you ever want to remove a carb and use another one, you know, like a modern carb, they have a pinch bolt normally. But these, the screw goes directly into the hole of the carb body, which basically is not awesome at all. And I almost guarantee you I probably won't be able to unscrew it. You guys want me to unscrew one? Yeah, that's a situation. James, what's up, man? Happy Saturday to you. Let me unscrew one. But if you can, try not to unscrew them because it's basically a nightmare. Pretty much 80% of the time, these screws will be totally stripped. This is like the one random time that it's not stripped. Yeah, so you see what's going on? That would go directly through the carb body. Yeah. It basically just holds it directly. There's no pinch bolt. So, you know, you could seal it with silicone. But, you know, these things get up to high temperatures, blah, blah, blah. There's a bunch of possibilities that are just not good altogether. A pinch bolt is a more sustainable long-term solution, I would say. But generally, if you don't have to move them, don't move them. The only good thing about this kind of setup is, well, you also can't really move the carb because, well, it's being held down by two screws from each side. You understand what I'm saying? It's basically dead end right here. You're dead-ended it. All right, so that's it for the engine. I'll check it out later. Also, the threads. Yeah, Nitro Pimp here goes. The threads, they're actually quite short because you saw how small these screws are. So you can't really mess around with it too much. If you, like, strip any of the threads in the carb itself, it's over. It's over for you. Good luck. You need a new engine, basically. I mean, you could probably seal something around. It might work a little bit, but it's not going to be very efficient. All right, my dudes. So I'm going to put a poll in the chat. And I'm going to start a poll right now. Hold on a second. How do I do that? I'm going to add a poll. Start a poll. All right, here we go. Hold on a second. I got a commercial. I'm starting a poll, everybody. No, that's just some kind of incorrect poll. This is not the correct poll. Okay, I got another one. Okay, I got it. All right. I'm going to give this poll a little while. You guys vote. Make your voice heard. So let me do a zoom in for those of you that don't know what the poll is. Here is the poll. We'll do a live view of your chat and the poll. Guys, this is innovative streaming. I don't think anybody has done this so far. Kidding, maybe a few people have. But this is the first for me. All right, so let's see what people are saying. Live time to fix or not to fix. Shakespeare would have wanted to know as well. All right, you guys are saying mostly yes. Mostly yes. All right, Michael James with a fix it. By the way, anybody saw that new movie with The Rock, The Smashing Machine? It got like real bad reviews. Do they realize that The Rock, that the actor that, you know, the Rock didn't actually look like The Rock and nobody knew who he was? That's why it didn't do well. Do these movie producers understand that if you're going to pay someone that's a famous, you know, actor or athlete, people are going to see them in the movie? They're not going to see that actor look like somebody else. I'm just saying. Okay, if you're going to go to a circus and you don't see a clown of the circus, you're going to be disappointed, right? I'm just saying. Okay. All right. John Hensey goes, Nitro Pim has the brake parts and I have an engine. Well, if that goes down, it'll go down. I'm going to give this a couple more minutes and we'll solidify the vote. Yeah, good point there from Nitro Pim for those that say fix it. The other situation is, you know, these cars really don't have that much of a value at this point yet. This is not like an SS model. It's not the, you know, the T3.0 model. It's the first generation RS4 These sell for like, I would say, low, if you're lucky, in very good condition, low 200s. Like, that's about it. And these 15FE engines, they're basically almost always toast. Almost always toast. John, thank you, bro, for that super chat to the channel. I appreciate it. That's going to go towards making it great again, one way or another. Ron Fuller, what's going on, man? NitroGang Queen is, I think she's sleeping right now, actually, because, well, she got work tomorrow. But, you know, that's what I'm saying. Smitty goes, yeah, paid $125 from RS4 Evo. Exactly, yeah. You could, you know, they're not that rare. All right, so most people are saying, yes, fix it. I'm going to end the poll right now because it's overwhelmingly yes. Hardcore, I appreciate it, and I thank you a lot. But for those of you just joining us, I know who else just came. I don't know who, but okay. So overwhelmingly yes. Engines, I do have an okay engine I could use for this. I'm not too worried about it. Let me tell you guys the major problem. Do you want to know the major problem? With upgrading engines on this model, just so you know, don't think anything will fit. Yeah, Nitro Pimp goes, most of his Mint RTR3 Evos were 350. To get a really good, clean Mint one, it's going to be 300 at least. That, I admit, will be real a good car. To buy like a rudder will be like low 200s, right? Low 200s. And I'm quoting eBay prices with like fees and shipping. I'm not quoting like, you know, you're getting something from your friend because you guys, you know, enjoy burritos together. No, I'm not quoting like, you know, a friend deal. I'm quoting like an open market deal. So let me get back to the issue with, actually, there's a sickening HPI on eBay right now. I'm going to show you guys before I forget. A sickening one. It's a big block. The guy's asking for over $1,000. If I can find it. Okay, you guys want to take a look at it? Because you all know hybrid over here. I do some good eBay shopping myself, you know. But first, before I show you the $1,200 HPI with a big block, let me talk about the main issue with these cars and any other engine. I saw someone in the comment in the chat just said get the Vertex. Okay, those are cheap at like 80 bucks. The biggest problem with these, the gear mesh is only adjustable if you have the optional motor mounts or the Wolfpack Racing small block engine mounts, which I do have. But notice these engines have the screws directly in the block. They're just kind of screwed in right now. Literally screwed in, get it? The screws are screwed in. So in this case, once the block is installed, like that's it. Your engine is not moving. It has a fixed gear mesh, which is good and bad. It's basically not adjustable unless you Dremel the entire chassis. You could Dremel the chassis, correct, Lotus? You could, but I'm talking about straight out of the box type stuff. Mark Nugan, how you doing, dude? Welcome to the stream. This is a channel donation from a viewer, Ray. We're just going over whether it is easily fixable. But even if you go with, let's say, a cheap SH18, which I do have, and that would be my ideal engine for this car, an SH18. Nitro Racing, what's up, man? That's a rare engine mount. Of course, I know what you're talking about. Nitro Pimp is correct. The T3.0 bolts in. So yes, your only correct bolt-in engine would be the T3.0, right? That's about 130 bucks at this point now. They're still good engines. But honestly, I think that engine's a little too powerful for this. Those are real good engines. They're good. This is like a cheaper car. It's, not a two-speed or nothing. It needs like a good engine, but nothing crazy. It needs a runner engine, right? It needs like a slightly used runner engine. It doesn't need anything that's like a $150 engine. That's overkill. Because the market value is not going to be, even with a new engine, it's not going to be a $300 car, right? Anybody here ever watch that show on, what was it, Speed TV, I think? Or what was it? It was not Counting Cars. That guy, Wayne Carini, the guy from Connecticut who had like a car thing, and he would go to auctions and buy cars. Basically, you got to be careful with, that. Now, I understand some people have feelings in these cars that are involved. They want like the best of the best. But if you're building a runner that you're not going to be underwater on, you need a good runner engine, right? You don't need anything crazy. So that was a good show, actually. Chasing Classic Cars 2. That's right, Nitro Pimp. So this one, to put in anything else, most engines, as you know, don't have screws that go directly to the block. They have engine mounts. So you would need the HPI optional engine mounts, which today are about 30, maybe 40 bucks on eBay if you're lucky. All right, my dudes, what do you say? You want to take a look at the $1,200 HPI Super Nitro? Or what? By the way, thank you guys for showing up. And can I get a hell yeah for my knowledge of old car shows? Okay, let's face it. When Danica Patrick came to Speed TV, it was unwatchable. Okay, she killed it just like she killed her driving career. Let's call it what it is, my dudes. That's right from Ray with the hell yeah. I don't appreciate that kind of marketing. They thought putting Danica Patrick for TV is gonna brainwash the guys. I'm sorry to tell you guys, I don't need a chick to watch car racing. I'm sorry, I don't need that. Okay? All right, hell yeah, I appreciate that, everyone. Big C, how you doing? Yeah. All right, so let's take a look at this car. So this is one from eBay. I just actually found it a little while ago. I was doing a little watching on it. It's obviously crazy. All right, we could take a look at it now. You guys let me know if you could see okay. All right, so the guy did a lot of work. It's $1,250. It's obviously not a cheap car. But is it a $1,250 car is the question. You guys see okay? All right. Danica Patrick, give me a break. Yeah, Lotus goes, I don't know if I see 1250. Yeah, Ray Coral goes 1200. Yikes. So let's take a look at it. We'll go to a better picture. Something normal. All right, so let's start with this picture, right? So first thing, we have it's a regular WR8 body from the regular modern WR8. Because basically, the WR8 is a Super Nitro size chassis. Mark, we're going over it. So the body's normal. It's a WR8 body, right? It has Super Nitro wheels, so it looks like it has, this is probably the front one-way diff. Has a couple gears, couple of loose spare parts, nothing crazy here. I would say pretty much not useful. Body's WR8, as we know. Looks normal. All right, so here we have some of the old HPI tech stuff. Starter box looks average, basically not worth anything. These wheels maybe worth like 20, 30 bucks. I don't know. Bodies are completely destroyed. I would say this is useless. Maybe washed, they'll be like 20% better, but they're not really $1,200 worth of bodies. These are like I would call them basher bodies. Although I would say at one time, these would have been good looking, like on the high, bro. These would have been good looking painted shells. But they're old and they're used. Very, very, very used. So tires, pretty much nothing crazy here that I see. These wheels are useless. This is basically all useless. All right. Yeah. This is not even converted to run like a modern lipo, but which you could rewire, but it's basically useless. Okay, so the car pictures are pretty bad. Let's take a look at it the way it is here. That's right, Smitty. The guy wants every car back, every cent. I know. So we have a Trackstar non-Polestar engine. This is like an $80 engine back in the day. The pipe, I think this is an old OS. I think an old OS buggy pipe. Not particularly valuable, or I would say very interesting, just a regular old OS pipe. The entire upper deck is, in fact, yes, nice and aluminum, but the car looks like it's been a real long time runner. It has a lot of use on it. To me, in my opinion, oh yeah, the teeth are half stripped. Oh, I gotta zoom in on this. Oh, we got the Wolfpack Racing Schneller rear chassis brace. That is worth money. Actually, this is the most valuable part on this car. But you could see the spur gears are half stripped. Well, not half. They're serviceable. Air filter. This is like a cheapo air filter, and it's already disintegrating. We do have a good fuel filter. I think that's an HPI fuel filter. The engine, it's just like an $80 Trackstar engine. Nothing crazy on it. Wheels are pretty much regular wheels. The rear end looks pretty good. It is all aluminum. Anything else obvious I see here? It is, built. This is definitely built with a lot of money. All aspects. What's up, bro? We're just on eBay taking a look at an expensive chassis. This is one, I'm obviously not bidding on it. I would never buy this. But, someone probably spent $1,000 to build this. Maybe more. The chassis, I honestly have not seen this chassis before. Don't know what that chassis is. Does not look like Wolfpack. But, you could tell this car has real heavy use on it. But it's all aluminum. It's a proper build. The belt is destroyed right here. Belt is gone. Yeah, it's oh yeah, the flywheel, all the little partitions are destroyed. They're all missing, basically. Good luck using that on the starter box. It's not going to catch at all. Spur gears are stripped. I'll be honest with you, $1,200 is basically a new in box. The body, that's like a $50 body. Well, no, okay, they're expensive. But what do you guys say? This is probably a high. This is like a low $400 car, in my opinion. Yeah, this is a low $400 car at best. And generally, the people that are going to buy this are only going to buy it for the big block engine mount. That's it. I think if you're going to get this, it's because you want a big block Super Nitro. Which, if you get a pretty normal new engine, by the time you're at $500, you're done, right? Nitro Pimp says $350, and that's pretty optimistic. Yeah, so I would say $400. That's including shipping, right? Total. We're not making fun of this guy or whatever. I don't want to, say nothing bad. But that's basically. Let's take a look on eBay. You guys want me to take a look on eBay, see what else we got brewing, just for interest alone, just to see what people are selling or not selling. Okay, so let's see what he wrote. Vintage Nitro RS4, 2-speed trans, every upgrade. I mean, yeah, the guy definitely spent over $1,000 on the car. Let's take a look at this one. Oh, we got a Savage XL I want to check out. Oh, username goes, I've been watching it for weeks. Me too, bro, me too. But it's too much money. It's going to need a new engine, guaranteed, so... So this is 600 or best offer. Free shipping. Let's just take a look at it. You guys could see okay? You like my super high-end resolution? Alright, so these tires are real impressive. Tires are real good. It's probably the best thing on the truck are the tires. Oh, I've never seen that before. Fuel tank in the back? Dude, you ever seen that before? So these aluminum fuel tanks, and I know you guys out here might know, these could sell for like 100 or more. Yeah, Texas Ghost could get a Mugen for that much. Totally agree. Yeah, so this is an all aluminum out HPI. Honestly, this is a go. This could be a go. Not for me. You know, I already got used nitros. I don't need another one right now of this kind. But this is a over $1,000 build right here. Yeah, all aspects is correct. Obviously, you never get what you put into it, you know. But like, in this case, older style LRP 28, super rare Savage XL chassis, literally everything into G. Although it's into G, so it's not really like ultimate engineering. Cooling head looks normal. We got obviously the metal spur gear from the 3-speed. Let's see anything else over here. It's clean. I mean, it's real clean. Aluminum spur. How did they put the fuel tank in the back, though? I have never seen that before. Anybody ever seen a fuel tank in the back like that? It probably didn't fit here, obviously, because as you guys might know, this tank, this is not a Savage tank, I think. That appears to be a T-Max tank. Maybe. You got Fly Sky. You see that? You spend all the money you want, you're still going to run Fly Sky, baby. Chassis looks pretty good. I mean, this is a $600 truck in my opinion. Although this is odd. I would have kept the factory fuel tank. This is going overboard right here. This is OD, not necessary. High level OD. Pipe, proper CVAC pipe. Wonder why he didn't put the tank on the side. It does. I mean, it doesn't look like you can't fit a tank over here. But yeah, he wanted that aluminum one, right? But just, bro, you don't need aluminum fuel tanks, okay? That's one of those things, bro. Lucas Dolka, bro, you definitely got to watch the Nitro Pimp videos. I've watched some myself recently. Incredible video content there. All right, let's exit this one. Just a little bit of a look. If you guys want me to take a look at some other listings, I'll give my own opinion maybe a little bit. Let's see, Savage X, that's too much money. I don't care about that at all. Nitro MT. If you see anything, let me know. We can maybe take a look at this one. I don't know. It's Nitro MT. All right, so $290 or best offer. So, oh my God, $88 shipping. You see that? That right there is a scam. This is not going to happen. I'm not bidding on that. He can kiss it. I don't really see anything else that interesting here. Oh, OS 49 rotary engine. Looks like an airplane engine. Oh, that's sick. Looks like an alternator from a Toyota. Except more money. That's what a $1,300 Toyota alternator would look like. HPI Savage Man, you have a good day. Thank you for stopping by. Let us know what goes down with your Savage. Because, dude, I gotta say, HPI Savage was really ripping that thing hard today. And, like, the video was literally in the grass. And honestly, unless you have big power, making a truck look fast in the grass is not easy. So that truck had good power, had good tuning. You know, it had all of it. All right, guys, let's go back to this. Maybe take a look at a magazine, all right? What do you say about that? So, just a couple of my impressions on some deals on eBay. You know, deal is a real subjective word at this point, honestly. Real subjective word. Yeah, so like I said, you know, these cars, they're good everyday drivers. They run real good, but they're not, you know, they're not supercars. And I would not spend more than total $300 all in, right? So that's where I would call it a line. All right, my dudes. So I'm gonna give you all a little option: left or right. Is that an Offna Titan? That is. Guys, I think Nitro Pimp recently picked up a real rare Offna, and I'm not going to tell him what it is unless he wants me to tell him, because, you know, you got to go to his channel to check it out, right? It's not for me to tell you what he got. I would say most people want the left right now. So for now, we'll go with the left. All right, Ron Fuller with the left. I saw John Hensley with the right, but guys, I think most people want the left. I'm sorry, but trust me, your vote mattered. But in this case, we're going to have to go with the left. My bad, you know how it is. It's like when you eat a Twix. They're all the same. But their marketing wants you to believe that left versus right is different. It's the same. Although I could see if you're a kid how that could be funny. All right, we're going to go with the left, gang. Let me just set up over here. 100 engines, they said. I'm going to try to hold it so we could see okay, all right? It's a little bit tough because it's glossy. So this is the year winter 2000. Sickening. They didn't even put the month. I don't think I've ever seen that. That's right, Nitro Pimp said it so I could say it. He got an OFNA Dominator. You understand? That is like the baddest of the OFNA trucks from that generation. Guys, I don't even have a Dominator, okay? And I have many, 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 many hundreds of square feet of RCs. But none of them are an OFNA Dominator. And I am happy that a member of our NitroGang crew here got one. John Hensley has one as well. Yeah, you've had yours for a while. All right, let's come out. Oh, good point there from username. He goes, that's because these magazines came out quarterly. That's a good point. I forgot to mention that. Vincent, what's going on? Vincent Savino, he goes, have you ever had an ornamental OB4? Do you mean an OFNA OB4? I think you mean the OFNA OB4. So the OB4, it's a 10 scale touring car. I do have a LD3 and a CD3. In fact, I think next week, Vincent, man, I'll have a real good video on the OFNA LD3, a real good running video. But yes, I know the cars you're talking about. But in particular, the OB4 I have never had. All right, let's continue taking a look. Oh, we got the OFNA Pirate, which, well, you know, you get stopped over in the ocean, they're gonna rob you. You know, it's a pirate. Where do you think the name comes from? Kidding around, guys. That was bad joke, bad joke. Let me just adjust the lighting a little bit. All right. All right, so OFNA Pirate, it's basically a small 10 scale. The Dominator was the 8th scale model. You guys see okay? I always worry about the visual quality. Visual qualities matter to me. Oh, man. Do you see what I just came across right here on the right? This is the Nitro Pimp Special. The Campagnucci Ignition Racers. I think Nitro Pimp has 2 of these. Real perfect one. So if you want to see this, once again, he has it in real good quality and condition on his channel. Piston racing the way it was meant to be, it says. So it appears that they were kind of running gas engines in 8th scales. Is that correct? I think that was the logic here at this time. Campagnucci. But yeah, Nitro Pimp has a couple of these. Real sickening. Bade Life, how are you, bro? Thank you for joining the stream today. Don't remember seeing you, but thank you, man, for joining up. All right, let's continue. Oh my goodness, Ray Coral. He goes, Hybrid, I got my tariff bill from FedEx for the Kyosho Blizzard. $93. That's the one from Japan, right? From Taiwan. Dude, that's like 25%, right? Of what it is. Yeah, I would say at this point, guys, it literally doesn't make sense to buy anything from overseas. You know, due to tariffs. So, like, you know, good comment there from Ray. Don't buy things on eBay from other countries because when it comes to customs here, they will assess the bill at that point, the tariff. I think Ray wound up paying like in the low 300s for that thing. So we're talking like 25 to 30% tariff, right? Which, it's pretty up there. I would not get it at this point, but you didn't know. At that time, like, that was pre-tariff ideas, you know? What the hell? All right, RC10 GT, we all know about them. Oh, baby. Kyosho FW. Oh no, it's a Super 1042. I think this is before the Super 10 name. No. Yeah, that's the Kyosho. That's basically the one I had on my channel many times with the OS 4-stroke. That's the OS 4-stroke. I have one. Paid life, bro. I have one. I'm serious. The 4-stroke. Oh my god. NitroPim says tariff bill on the SS was 192. Guys, I'm only ordering things from America now. I'm sorry, but it's unfortunate, you know. Our government doesn't realize we live in a world that basically depends on the surplus of goods from other countries. And when you do stuff like this, you're literally hurting yourself. Okay, these tariffs are just going to go to fund social programs that the government is cutting. That's all that is going to happen. So your eBay tariffs are going to be paying for the government cut programs during the shutdown. That's about it. All right, so this, I'm not going to talk about everything. It's a Kyosho Ultima. I actually have one right behind me, the Ultima. So I have one of these right behind me. We got the Pico. I know later on during the streams, the NitroGang VP of the Pico division, Offna guy, he's the Pico VP because he has the most Pico engines, and he really appreciates them. So hopefully we'll give him a little shout out. So here's a little shout out to Offna guy. Always willing to help viewers out there as well. Low C NXT. So this is the NXT. That was like, you know, the show from wrestling. Kidding around, my dudes. Funny. Got gas, they say. Oh, I got this car. Rossi gets it in the rear. Isn't that what they said about Danica Patrick? I think that's what they said about Danica Patrick. Before she killed the entire network. Honestly, she was not attractive enough to watch a whole network because of her. I'm sorry. It wasn't like that. All right, let's continue. It's just ads and some knowledge stuff. We got some speed controllers. Oh, baby. We got HPI Nitro MT. This is the hardcore purple level right now. Great chassis. If you didn't know, guys, the very first generation of the Super Nitro Rally, that was basically a Nitro MT. Offna guy is here. Awesome, man. Happy to hear it. I think Offna guy's picking himself up a super rare engine this weekend. Am I correct? I think he is. Robert Jones, how are you, man? Let's continue. What else we got? Oh, that's funny right here. How do you improve the world's #1 selling RTR Nitro trucks? Lower the price. Well, Traxass, why did you raise the price on our favorite Nitro Slash? Okay, you raised it $80, Traxass. Okay, why did you do that? Okay, we got some Offnas over here. This is the Offna Z10. I have never had this one. They're basically all similar to like the OB4 to the LD3. They're basically all from this generation. In my opinion, kind of competing with a TC3 of the time. Oh, man. Bad life over here goes. I'm tempted to install a vintage 21 Pico into my D'Agostini Kyosho. Dude, did you say D'Agostini? Because that is hot. That is hot. The 1/7 scale. That's the big ass one, the Red Bull one. We got some Duratrax. So I will say Duratrax had very good graphics design, but very bad everything else. Trust me. Most of these trucks, if you get them used, they're almost always destroyed. Almost always destroyed. And that's because, well, either the people that bought them were just not very careful or they were new to the hobby. Or the only other logical explanation is Duratrax wasn't as durable. What explanation do you guys think is the logical one? We got a Tamiya. I had this on the channel a while ago. My buddy Wayne had it. RS4 MT review. All right, my dude's not going to be here longer. I actually got to go eat some Chipotle. Picked up Chipotle today in Jersey. It was real good, real good. I can't actually finish this magazine because I'm kind of hungry. I want Chipotle. Normally, I would read all this, but I'm kind of hungry right now. Yeah, they raised the price of the Nitro Slayer by, I think it was about $80, right? Something like that. Well, you know, the truth is, what other Nitro are you going to get in that price range anyway? You know, the reality is, look at what Traxxas and other brands are doing. They're like, hey guys, you know, oh, Ben goes, you eat too much. No, bro, I only ate half the Chipotle. Come on, come on. You think I actually ordered the Chipotle and sat in the car on the ride home and didn't eat it? No, dude. I like to eat the food hot and fresh right away. Then I eat half later. You know how it is. That's how it's done, dude. That's right, Ray Coral. Almost time for dinner. I'm gonna leave in a little bit. Okay, my dudes. I think we're gonna have to call it a day. I'm hella hungry, actually. Okay, how about 2 more page flips? Damn, this is a hot car right here. This is a hot car. Oh my goodness. This is before Traxxas went with their more modern graphic design. It's the very first color scheme of the T-Max. It says Monster Tech takes a giant leap in a new direction. Gotta say they were right. This, and I was talking about to Nitro about this earlier. Yeah, the T-Max really changed the market. Offna Z10. Can't kill it. But what you can kill is some Chipotle warmed up in a microwave, okay? That's what that's what I'm gonna do. I'll go back to this magazine maybe in a little while, guys. My bad about not covering all of it. But that's the news of the day. We got ourselves a Nitro that, well, we're gonna sleep on it. We're gonna talk to a couple friends in the group, and I will see if it will be made great again. If not, all of these parts still will not go to waste. It's all good. But, you know, sometimes you got to do an evaluation. You got to do an analysis of whether it could be made great again. Nitro Racing Power, let me answer you. He goes, do I have the Traxxas Pro 15 Nitro Hawk? Nitro Racing Power 6000, I do not. I actually never had a Hawk. I've looked for one for a long time. They're not that different really from like a Nitro Sport really, right? So I really haven't prioritized it because they're not really that different in the drive. It's kind of the same layout. But, you know, if I ever find like a good, okay one, I will buy it just because it's their first Nitro. But I don't think I would go out of my way to spend, you know, an exorbitant amount of money for it. Let me put it that way. All right, my dudes, thank you so much. Special thanks again to Ray Coral for providing this to the channel. I'll take a little work, but I'm not scared of that. What I am scared of is torrential rains. And my local area is supposed to have some bad weather. And of that, I am terrified. You know why? Because I had to pay 4 different people to patch up my roof already. Okay? So tomorrow will be the test of the leaky roof or not. Roof lives matter. Don't forget. My dudes, you all take care. See you next time.